say and the feelings you're having, that is what's creating your life. But the really good thing is that you can believe anything you want. You can think anything you want. You have control over that. The conscious mind, again, has control over the subconscious mind. And so you can believe anything you want. So what I always say is, since we can believe anything we want, why not just always believe the very best for yourself? Why believe anything negative? Why have any fear thoughts about your life? It doesn't serve you at all. So I think that if we can just keep that in mind, and that's what mindfulness is, being aware of our thoughts and our beliefs and our what we're saying, and we can catch this. Anytime we have a negative, you're having a negative belief that's fear-based, you can just stop and change that. Say, no, I don't need to think this way. I'm going to keep focusing on what I want. I'm going to keep focusing on the positive. I'm going to stay in love. I'm going to stay in love, and that's how I'm going to create my life, and I'm going to get out of fear. So I hope that makes sense. I hope I was able to explain it. It's kind of a difficult subject to explain in a real clear, positive way. I guess it is, at least for me, but I want to attempt to do that because, again, that's the name of our podcast is Fearless Aging. Once you get the fear out of aging or anything else in your life, then you can really move forward, and it's just an amazing things happen. So I want to tell you a little bit about my big challenge. And of course, it was really fear-based. Uh, it's been said that, that our challenges are truly our blessings, and the bigger our blessing, or the bigger our challenge, the bigger our blessing. And we found that to be true. I'm sure you've heard the stories of people, excuse me, who have gone through cancer and treatments and have survived. And almost to the every one of them almost has said that it was an experience that totally changed their life and moved them forward, spiritual path, and they wouldn't change it for anything because it really got them on the right path. Because most of the time, where there's cancer or any kind of disease or illness or stress or challenges we're having, it's because we are in fear. It's because we're not on the right track, and that we are creating that for ourselves. So once we're able to move through the fear and overcome it, we feel so much better. We're so thankful that we had that experience to move us forward, even though at first it seemed really bad, and we allowed it to be fearful. So what I've learned is that fear is something that, again, it'll just dissipate. It's just like the light in the dark. You can have a dark room, but you begin to let the light into the dark room, the darkness goes away. And it's the same with fear. When you actually step up and address and face your fears and step into it, it diminishes. It goes away, just like the darkness. And I know this is true from my own experience, and I know this is what, again, most of the the wise people, the successful and spiritual gurus have said. We just got to step up and face our fears. So I want to tell you about my big fear was I grew up, well, I shouldn't say grew up, but when I was a little child, I stuttered really badly. And of course, that's a big thing because other children will tease and laugh at you. So I had the fear of not being able to speak because I was going to be teased and laughed at. And I can remember being in school, in class, and the teacher would say, "Raise your hand if you know the answer to the question." And I almost always knew the answer, but I wouldn't raise my hand because I know that I was afraid that I was going to stutter, and then that people would laugh at me, and that's not a good feeling to be teased and laughed at, right? So I became, when you stutter, you become basically introverted because you're not able to express yourself. And I know many people have felt this way, not only from stuttering, but other things, being teased and not feeling capable of expressing their emotions. So you hold them inside, and that's not a good thing, right? So as I became introverted and not able to express myself verbally, but my blessing was I became physically extroverted. I was fortunate that I was a good athlete. I could run fast, and I got in good shape, and I could do good in sports and in school. So I got through school pretty well because I became physically extroverted. And that actually has served me quite well. I've been able to be this uh, health and fitness trainer and guru for all these years, for 37 years. So in the year 2000, I wrote my main book called Ageless Living. It's all about how to get and stay healthy and fit and energetic and healthy and vital, and live a long, healthy life and never be old. And all the marketing and media people said, "Well, Rico, this is your thing. You know, you're the model for it. This is your program. You're teaching. You got to get your message out to the world. You got to get out and speak." Now you can imagine, right? Most people totally fear public speaking. The average person, it's right up there in the top three things of what they fear the most. I don't know. I don't understand why that is, but it is. People really fear public speaking. But can you imagine if you stuttered, how much more it would amplify the fear of public speaking? Probably at least 10 times, maybe 100 times, right? So now, as I'd gotten older, I didn't stutter nearly as much as I did when I was a young boy, but I still stuttered some, and I surely didn't have confidence in myself of speaking. So I totally resisted. You know, when you're a stutterer. The last thing that you think you'll ever be is a public speaker. Absolutely the last thing. So I totally resisted. I said, "There's no way that I can go out and be a public speaker. I just can't do it." And then one day, when I was working with one of my personal training clients, and I was encouraging them to, "Come on, you got to meet your challenge. You're not stepping up your game. You're not, you got a big challenge here, but you can do it." And then I realized that I wasn't here. I'm telling my fitness clients to meet their big challenge, but I wasn't meeting my big challenge. So I was standing there, and I had this big knot in my stomach, and my heart was pounding, and sweat was coming down my face. I was standing before this group of people. I was in a speaking class. It was my time to speak for the first time in front of a group. And so I just did the best I could. And when I finished, everybody clapped for me. Of course, that was the polite thing to do. But still, I felt like, well, nobody laughed at me. They clapped for me. Maybe I could be a speaker. But my real turning point really came was when I was in this second speaking class with this actor. And he said, "Yes, your voice, how you speak, and how you move on the stage, and your message, your content is really important. But really, if you want to connect to your audience, all you have to do is just speak from your heart. Be your authentic self. Just speak from your heart. Tell your truth, and people will really respond to that." So I thought, I could do that. I've got a great message that can help people. I could do that. So that was a big turning point for me. So then I just got into it, and I've been speaking and learning about and training, taking courses and learning how to speak. And now I'm still far from a great speaker because I'm not naturally the words don't roll off my tongue really easily. But I get out there and I speak my truth as best as I know it, and I try to do the best I can to convey some information and things that I really feel that will be beneficial for people. So I'm able to go out now. It's been my big blessing. I can go out and speak and get my message out to the world, and I usually get some really good response from that. So again, once you start to get into it, I had a big fear of trying to go speak, and now I don't fear it at all. You always get nervous, but I look forward to it. It's fun to go out and speak and express myself. So it's the same with any fear that you may have. Any fear that you may have, you can just, once you step up to it and face that fear, it just diminishes and it goes away. So I hope this has been helpful for you. So I just wanted to let you know that's the only thing that really is holding us back, whether it's your health, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your business, or whatever you want to be successful at in your life. It's always we got to take responsibility for it. It's all our own beliefs, our thoughts, our fears that are keeping us from being as successful as we want to be. But the good news is we can let go. We can let go of those fears. We can face those fears. We can overcome them, and we can stay in love. We can get back to being in love, uh, and we can do it. That's the real exciting thing about being human beings and being on this planet Earth. Yes, we have a lot of challenges, but we also are connected to Source. We're connected to Spirit, to God, however you think about that. And it's just a matter of, of knowing that, tapping into our higher self, being in the state of love, and we can conquer any fears, any challenges. We can overcome them, and I believe that as humanity we're going to do that. It looks pretty bleak on the outside sometimes, basically because we only get what's going on from watching the news, right? And of course, the news is they only want to talk about primarily all the sensational stuff that's going on, and all the blood and all the fearful things that are going on in the world, and all the wonderful good things and all the loving things going on rarely gets talked about. But I guarantee you, there's a lot more love going on than there is fear. And we're going, as human beings, we're going to get over this thing of fearing each other and fighting and killing each other, and realize that we're all brothers and sisters and we're all one on this planet, and we can get along, and we can be healthy and age fearlessly and create some amazing things on the. I always had this thought. Look at how many people in the world are struggling. Uh, don't even have enough to eat, or don't have a decent, healthy place to live. And then how many people are in war zones, and people are fighting, killing each other. So we're wasting so much human talent and energy that we could be producing amazing things that we could all be utilizing and enjoying. So that's the goal. That's what this is all about. That's what my business, Ageless Living Lifestyle, is all about: helping people to stay healthier and energetic and vital and being in love, so they can give back to your wisdom and knowledge to help create a much more compassionate and peaceful and prosperous world for everybody. So that's what it's all about. That's why we need to learn how to be as healthy and as energetic as we possibly can, and age well, so we can give back all of what we have to offer to make it a better world for all of us. And eventually it's going to be really an amazing world when we're living in peace and living in the new energy is happening. The new energy of cooperation and collaboration and abundance for everyone is here, and it's coming on, and it's going to replace the old energy that still prevails, though, of competition and conflict and win-lose and scarcity. All those things are just all fear-based. They're not true. We live in a loving, abundant universe. Our Creator, however you want to think of it, is a benevolent, loving being. It's not here to create any bad things for us or punish us or judge us. We're up to ourselves. We have free will here, and so we're going to do it. So maybe I got off a little track here, but I hope you get the idea that it's all about either love and fear, and we can choose love at any time. And when you choose love for yourself and for your life, you're going to be able to age so much better. You're going to be able to stay a lot healthier and have a lot more energy and accomplish a lot more things and be a lot more productive. And you're going to have a lot more joy and fun in our life. So that's what the Fearless Aging podcast is all about. So I think maybe I've rambled on enough for today. I hope that was a little bit of a rant, a little bit of a ramble, but I hope you get the basic idea that, hey, all we have to do is be mindful of what we're thinking and what we're saying, and get back to being in love and being in that state, and everything's going to be so much better for all of us. So I'm going to pretty much end that now. Again, I just want to remind you that I told you about in the introduction first podcast, is that I want to let you know that I have created an online wellness membership club called the Be Bold, Never Be Old Wellness Club, where I'd love to have you check it out. And we have this special going for only $1. You can join for the first month, and you're going to get, every week you get a training video from me. You have me as your personal trainer, and we're going to address some of the big challenges that people are having with their health and their wellness, and so for just $1 you can check it out. And then after that, it's only $20 a month. I wanted to make it just so inexpensive, easy for people So they'll get in there and do this, and you stick with it for about